Welcome to Moonlight Madness, and today we're doing the signs for Earth signs. I'm very late in getting this out. It's been a hectic couple of days, and I've been working on trying to navigate the rocky thing of my grandfather passing from this earth. So I haven't been in the right headspace to really tap in. My intuition's been a little off because I'm so emotional. Um, and when I pick up stuff for some people, and this is online even, I'll get some things that I think is for them, but it's actually not for them. It's just a possible vision of what's to come. What I do is it's a snapshot in time, and things can change. You can go left or you can go right. So when it comes to things like the movie Sliding Doors, I tried to explain this to one of the actors that I was speaking with online. He's a really good actor, Nicholas Galzatine. The idea of you. And I was trying to explain it to him. It's like you go through one door. If she hadn't gone back to the other door and walked in on her fiance in the movie, she wouldn't have split up with him. It was that snap decision that changed her entire trajectory. And then they showed an alternative reality of what would have happened had she not gone back for the coat and been totally oblivious to the whole thing. So I get these impressions, and they come through usually around 11 till 1 o'clock. On my left shoulder is the near future. On my right shoulder is stuff that's already happened. So I got on my left shoulder a future child for one of these actors, and I told him that, and that's cool. But then that can change. Like, it can change. Depends what happens, you know. It's, I guess I identified so strongly with his acting ability and him as a person that I was seeing these things for him. And you know, sometimes they might not work out. Sometimes they might. So I kind of went, well, it might be a future niece of his. You know, I'm just thinking, like, she looked just like him, this little girl. So I don't want to negatively or say the wrong things, because I can get imagery, but I won't get the story with it. I'll just get the image, and I'll have to decipher what that image means. So I may interpret that image as something completely different. So I said to him, don't put 100%, don't bet all your eggs on this basket, because what I could see for this little girl could have been a niece. He's got a sister. So that's why I said to him, I don't want to I don't want to give an inaccurate view or future reading on you, that you might get your hopes up and it might not eventuate, because you can change your mind. My visions come through for myself. I see stuff for myself all the time, and depending what I'm doing with my body, if I'm treating it right, if I'm eating really healthy, if I'm exercising, not dabbling in anything that's bad for me, then I get future visions that are good. But if I go off that path and don't eat properly and don't look after my physical health, then I'll see this alternative reality that is scary for me. It's not good. It's usually all negative stuff that I'm, dying from cancer. And yeah, it's kind of showing me the path I have to take and how I have to avoid, if I don't want that reality, what are steps I have to make. I'm just putting that out there. So I channel messages. They come through as imagery. I can't always tell you if it's what I'm interpreting. Like if you look at a painting, someone looks at a painting and gets a completely different spin on what that painting means, what the symbolism is behind the pictures and the images that they draw or they paint. So I'm getting an image of, say, a car, and that can mean a future journey or your new vehicle or your new way of transport in life, or you're looking at making bold moves. That's what I see when I see a car. It means you're protected and your path is good, but it's it's a straight and narrow path. So that's what I'm just going to put that out there. So, this is also for entertainment purposes, but I'm just saying I'm not claiming to be 100% all the time, because the imagery will change and time will shift, and you may make a different decision, which will affect what I then see for you. I've got here Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine tarot cards. They're very old, very well loved. Illustrations by Howard David Johnson. Now what I got is the first card is the Emperor card. This is leadership qualities. You may be the leader in your field. You know, you might be the leader in your spiritual community or what you do as a job. You may be the leader in that place because of what you've foreseen or what you do foresee. Um, I was reading a book called The Silver Effect, the Silver Method, and he talks about images on the east side being future, on the west side is things that have already passed. So that's kind of frightening for me because this happens all day. I don't have any way of controlling it. It does not switch off. I have no off switch to the point that when I go to sleep, I astral travel to future events because I've seen someone that day or I've spoken to someone that I care about that day. I'll go see stuff for them. And then I have to decipher it and figure out what the meaning is behind it. If it's an actual, symbolism, or if it's actually going to be telling them word for word, this is what you have to avoid. Now I've got here a plane ride coming up for someone. 8 of Wands to me is stress that's coming from having many things happening at once. You may be successful multitasking, sudden events or changes. To me, it means travel by air, but it can also mean the arrows of love. So some of you may be falling in love. And that's in the next 8 days because we've got Wands. Wands usually mean next 8 days you may have been told, or you will be told, by someone that they're in love with you or you're in love with them. And love comes at different times and we don't always plan for these things to happen. Sometimes they just come out of the blue when we least expect them because we don't realise our feelings. And if it's been a long time since you've been in love, then it's really hard to recognise what that is. I fell in love with a guy about 3 years ago. I had no idea I was in love with him because it had been such a long time. Because I'd pushed love aside. I'd pushed it away because I was hurt in a previous relationship, extremely hurt, heartbroken, and I was still healing from that. And then I also found out one of my ex-partners had passed away in a vehicle accident in 2019. I was supposed to marry him. We were talking about it, and that was over 10 years ago. I was 33 at the time, 32, 33, and it was really sad when we broke up, but I never knew. I only found out through Facebook because my Facebook account was shut down, was being managed by my children. It's a long story of why they shut it down, because I was not well at the time. They were upset. They were worried that I would see future events online and what's happening in the world, and it would upset in my head. So, because I'm a very emotional person, and I saw that, and so it's taken me this long to get over it, the death of him. Yeah, possibilities that could have been. Now I've got here 5 of Winter is to do with 5 swords. 5 people arguing. Dishonest associations, lots of fighting, infighting. This could be family members, this can be people. People that you know, that you were close to once upon a time. But that's saying 5 weeks ago you had a lot of conflict in your family. Families don't always get along. There's always going to be infights and leadership issues. Now what we've got here in the recent past is the Queen of Swords. Now she represents the Aquarian nature. Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. She's a strong, patient, self-sufficient, funny leader. Says let go of people or things that no longer serve you. Now is the time to focus on your career. Unmarried or divorced individuals. She could be like someone who's been widowed, who could work in law enforcement. She may work as military. She could be, in those types of leadership roles that are requiring a good head. So laws, to me, you've got to be very grey. You can't be black or white with law. There's different shades of the law, different shades of grey, because you've got to be grey because the law is on a sliding scale, is what I get from that. And it shifts and moves its goalposts because you can't have a black or white decision when it comes to certain people, places or things. Now what I've also got crowning you is the dreamer. Now the dreamer to me is new beginnings. Embrace your true purpose, begin a new adventure and trust yourself. So it's like no limits. The butterfly to me is transformation as well. It's like you're transforming your life. You're starting at the bottom of the hill. You've got a long way to get up to that castle. You've got your bag on your back with all your old baggage. I keep dreaming about bags. This has broken my dream. I keep breaking bags. My bags I buy from shops and things, the strap keeps breaking. I'm thinking, what does that symbolize? Well, with luggage, baggage means marriage to me. It's like luggage is marriage. But it also is you lugging behind. You're trying to get up this new path. But if you've got all this baggage on you, then how are you going to make a move into your new future, and how are you going to have new beginnings if you've still got all that stuff on your back that you haven't dealt with? So it's saying to try and deal with that through counselling or through seeing someone you can talk about these things with, these issues with. I read somewhere, and I think it's a really good advice, is don't bleed on others. Now you've got, because they didn't cut you, and I think that's very true. Then you've got the Nine of Cups. Now, wishes are coming true, dreams are fulfilled, and a magical time of life. It's the Nine of Cups. This is like all your birthday wishes coming true at once. And this is coming up in the next 9 months. So that's exciting. It could be anything, really. You just got to write down what you want. What do you want? It's like a vision board. If you get a vision board and you write down the things that you would like to have happen in your life. My girlfriend used to do vision boards on pieces of cardboard and just put a picture of what she would like in her life, like a diamond ring, to meet someone to love, things like that. She'd put pictures, and she'd look at it as a visual every day. And if you do that every day for 365 days a year, you'll gradually get to where you want to get to. That's what I got from her. One step every day, baby steps, till you get to the end result, is what it's been telling me here. Now, you may be in dealing with two people. I've got here a Prince of Cups, who is a Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces. They are very gentle, very sensitive, they are kind, they're inexperienced. A new relationship or emotional experience, invitations to social events, a compassionate friend you can share your concerns with. So this person is very emotional. If they could win an Olympic medal, they would win the Olympic medal in reading poetry or writing romance stories. They may like to process their emotions in a small garden, and that's where they sit to process their thoughts, out in a little area. They will be there for you through your tears, through your pain, and they will always be a listening ear because they truly care deeply, but they sense the world with feelings, not with logic and reason. They make decisions based on intuition and how you feel about it. I was trying to explain this to someone I've been recently talking to, that I sense the world with feelings. I don't sense it with my eyesight, I sense it with my third eye chakra. That's how I sense what is good and what is not good, and whether that person is telling the truth or not. It's difficult because I always know when someone's lying, and then I will then retreat because I know that they've told the lie, or I feel that something's off with them. I'll pull the pin. Next card I've got is the Judgment card. So you definitely are dealing with a Scorpion. We've got the Renewal. This is like judging your past and the present, so you can plan a bright new future, understanding your life purpose, releasing judgments of yourself and others. Yeah, I judge myself extremely harshly. I've been talking to this person about it, that I have really high standards for myself, and I think I place a lot of pressure on myself to perform. I've always been a go-getter. I've always had to do really well in whatever subjects I really liked. I would study really, really hard to get that high distinction because I was very focused on doing very well. And I am very hard on myself because I want to achieve. That's because I've got Aries in my chart. I'm an Aquarian with Aries rising, and I definitely identify more with Aries than I do with Aquarius. I have Aries rising. I'm very driven. I'm very passionate, but I have to be number one. That's how exactly I'm very competitive with my own self. So if I'd say I did a running race, I used to go to Sydney to surf. I've done about 6 of them. I would try to do better every year on my time. The best one I ever did was, I think, 74 minutes. And the one that won the race was a Kenyan man, and he did it in 47 minutes. which was amazing. But he's so fit. He was like Reed thing. He could run. He had long legs. He was really amazing. But I remember those days running through the streets of, because I lived in Sydney at the time, the streets of Sydney. It's just the most amazing feeling. Running up past the Coca-Cola sign in King's Cross and then running up the Dover Heights. And all these people are out the front with hoses hosing us down and cheering us on and playing live music. It's the most incredible rock star moment I could ever think. You know, it's like you're on stage. It's like you're being clapped on by thousands of people. And there's all these volunteers that are on hand with buckets of ice and water and cups and things like that. But the only thing is that like the last one I went to, I had to go to the toilet because, you know, drinking all this water and Gatorade, and I had to try and line up at the door to go to the toilet. I was so desperate to go. I went to the men's stall because I didn't want to lose any more time. I'd taken 10 minutes off my time because I had to go to the toilet, and so that put my time back. But you know, I was really cranky that I didn't. I never thought I could have done things to avoid that, but I shouldn't have drank so much water. But you have to stay hydrated. So it's a very, very, it's like driving a manual. You've got to put your foot on the clutch, your foot on the brake. Yeah, foot on the clutch, foot on the brake, and foot on the accelerator. That's how it is to run a race. You have to learn how to breathe correctly. I found my breathing technique, I had to change it to do running because you've got to breathe quicker when you're going on the straight hills, but when you're going up the hills, you've got to temper your breathing to get up the hill. You know, in and out, slow breaths, you know, to get up the hill, and then in and out really quickly when you're going on the straight. The last 2 kilometres is always the killer. It feels like forever before you cross that finish line. But see, a sports mentality, and I've got a sports mentality, I always imagine myself crossing the finish line before I even do it, and that's how I get the motivation to get to the top of the hill. The Princess of Swords, if got around you, is an inquisitive, truthful, realistic, undiplomatic person. They can like to argue. I get strong Libra energy here. Librans love to argue. My son does. Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini energy. Now they can speak their truth with kindness. Could be an indigo child or adult, and they can be a little bit harsh. I was told when I was a younger person that my mother used to tell me I had no tact, that I'm very straight to the point, which I can be quite straight to the point. I don't try and make it look shinier than what it is. I'll tell you exactly what I think, because I like to be honest. I think honesty is the best policy for me. I won't dress it up in anything else. It's just how I am. The wheel. And if I don't believe in something, I can't sell it. It's point blank. I was doing makeup for many, many years, and I used to work for a company that was really big, like in skincare, Clarins and Estee Lauder, and I 150% believed in what that product was going to do for that customer, because it took 7 years to invent these products. They're made by scientists, and they put a lot of effort into the manufacturing and making of these moisturizers that are expensive. You know, they're not cheap. They're like, you know, they're $130 for one jar. I used to sell that, and we did a relaunch called Skin Firming Cream, which was, Skin Firming Cream, and that was for 40 plus, and the moisturizer is amazing. I used to give it to my mum. I used to get free products to my mum and me, and my skin was the best it ever has been when I used to use Clarins and Estee Lauder, because they put all that research. I remember Estee Lauder uses gold, 24 karat gold, in one of their toners for your skin to make it reduce redness in the skin. When you in your 40s, in your menopausal age, you get hot flushes, and it used to take the redness out of the face, which is really cool. And then you've got this other product called, it's a gold product, I can't think of the name of it, starts with R, coming later. But it has truffles in it, and it's like $400 for a jar. But these truffles, they bring them out of England at a certain time, and they have to harvest them at a certain time in order to get the benefits in the moisturizer. That's my spiel. So everything looks good and it turns to gold for you. You've got future events of a wheel. The wheel to me is a new car. It's a new car or a gift of money. Delays are over, unexpected luck, and a new car or travel. So it's definitely saying in 1 calendar year, you're going to travel, and how you're going to move through life, your transport's going to change too. Maybe you're going to take a lotto ticket, but it's saying here, the wheel is a cycle. It's a brand new cycle that you are on, and you've got unexpected good luck coming your way. I believe in luck being with lavender. I always put lavender for luck. So I use lavender on my face every day, lavender and rose, bergamot, sesame and oil, and avocado from Nadio. It's a relaxation oil. It chills me out. I get anxiety when I go into shopping centres, so I use it for that reason. It helps my skin. It's very good for my skin. I've been using it for a very long time underneath a moisturiser. And I also put lavender in disinfectant on my clothing, and I wipe all my benches over with lavender disinfectant because it's luck. I'm trying to get luck, to bring luck in. We all need a bit of that at the moment. So that's that deck. Now I'm going to pull some oracle cards. I had to read this for someone recently, and a person, I won't say. I can't get any impressions on him, and I can't understand why. It's frustrating the living hell out of me because I always get impressions if I watch footage of a person on television, you know, like an actor. I saw Reese Witherspoon about 3 years ago when they made Big Little Lies. 3 years before that, I saw her on stage with an Oscar, and she was in a black dress, so I knew she was going to get an Oscar for a movie. So I thought, oh, isn't that wonderful? And so I put it up on my channel, and sure as eggs, it happened. And I went, well, I can actually read for celebrities. So I've been reading for some celebrities lately, and I can't pick up on a couple of them, and I think it's difficult. You know, I can't see stuff. I can see, I'm friends with Keanu Reeves on my YouTube, Facebook channel. I get impressions for him all the time. He's easy to read. But there's other people I can't. Oh, Into the Unknown and Stuck in the Mud. Okay, so you've got Stuck in the Mud. It's an elephant. And Into the Unknown. That's what I was just talking about. Sometimes I'm not shown future events for people because I'm not allowed to see them. They're not going to let me see them. For some reason, I'm blocked. Now, I think the reason I'm blocked is because some people, they say they are open to having readings done on them, but really they're generally scared. And so when they're scared and they've got religious background, and say if they're, I don't know, some strong religion like a Catholic, they say they want a reading, but then I can't see stuff for them because they're blocking me. They're blocking me psychically, and I find it frustrating because I can read anyone. It's like in the movie with Rob Pattinson, Twilight, and Bella. He cannot read her because she's got a block. She's got a physical shield that she pulls down that blocks his ability to read her, and he's fascinated by it because he can read anyone. Well, that's how I feel. So I'm kind of, I'm really pulling my hair out on how to sort that out. Normally I have to just watch a couple of, as I said, movies of that person, but this person, I can't read them. 7, Into the Unknown. It's only happened maybe once or twice. Life is an adventure, and often new opportunities will arise that you won't know how to deal with. This is one of those times you're required to trust that this new phase will reveal wonders and miracles as you step into the unknown territory. Imagine that you are not only a path finder, but a path maker. Whatever your inquiry, trust that you'll be safe. Stay aware as you discover new and marvelous territories and valuable treasures. And then we've got 24. It's raining outside, so if you can hear that, that's the rain. We had a really hot day yesterday, and I think that's why. My crystals, I get all of them from Rainbow Runner in Hamilton, New South Wales, Beaumont Street. I can't access them anymore except for online, so I'm going to have to go and get some more crystals because I can't go into the shop anymore. I really miss going there. I used to like to touch them and feel them because I was drawn, whatever I was drawn to, I would touch and feel it and pick it up, and I know that was for me. Now, with the Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces person I was picking up around you, I picked up my Smoky quartz for protection, for grounding. Sometimes you have to ground water and air because they're so out there. They've got so much emotion. It's like it bubbles to the surface and they can't control it and they have to push it down literally. And then when it comes out in anger because it's all that emotion that they have to had to suppress for months, for years, for, you know, they just, they shove it down. It's what they bottle it up and then it just comes out the wrong way. That's what I find. I do that. I'm the same. I don't mean to. I have to release it more. So I'm trying to do things like this to release what I feel. Right, I've been doing diary entries. I've got a visual arts diary and I draw what I see, and I also write my thoughts and feelings on whatever I've seen in a vision, in a premonition. This other crystal I've got here is actually for amethyst. It's really good for Aquarians, Geminis and Libras, for overthinkers. They helps to calm their energy down. Amethyst is really good for stress, which I do a lot. Becoming stuck is sometimes the only way to trick yourself into slowing down and looking around you. In fact, this is a sign that you need to shift your focus away from what you're doing and place your attention elsewhere. Struggling will only get you to even muddier places. Now is not the time to move forward, but to observe. Clarity about your circumstances will come a little later. Stop and find the joy in what you've been overlooking. Soon you'll be out of the mud, but for now, be still and know that Spirit has a plan for you. There you go. I want to push forward. I'm trying to find work at the moment, and they're not letting me. And I think the reason why is because my grandfather is about to pass away, and they know that if I was working, I wouldn't be able to see him. So I'm going to try and spend as much time as I can with him while he's still here. I think that was intentional from my angels, my spirit guides. My Nana, who passed away in January, she has been coming to me for the last 2 days, no, a week, with last week, and I keep seeing post office trucks everywhere. Like I saw 4 yesterday, and I'm like, that's Nana, that's Nana, that's Nana. She's trying to tell me, she's sending a sign that yes, she's coming to take Granite to heaven with her. And I know it's confirmation because I get it at the same time every day. Every day I've had these trucks, and I wouldn't look for a post office truck. They wouldn't come that often, or a post office man on a bike. I keep seeing post office men. My mum, my Nana, say my mum, she's like my mum. My grandmother used to work for the post office when she was young, so it's a sign from her. The other one is that I keep getting through the day is the bird of paradise. I keep seeing bird of paradise, and bird of paradise was a beautiful plant that she had in her front yard when I was a little girl. A leg up. Ooh, someone's going to help you out. Someone. A friend. Soulmates. Oh, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful card. See how he's got the key and she's got the lock and he's got the key to open her heart, and they're being blessed by the angel above them. Oh, that is beautiful. I was chatting with someone this morning about soulmates and how their souls recognized each other before they met. My ability of seeing things before it happens, I met this person online, but I dreamt about him 3 days beforehand. He lives too far away. We're in different, I don't know, I think we want different things, but I felt that we could have had something there, but I don't. I think he's been recently hurt and doesn't want to go there. So I stopped chatting with him. Yeah, what can you do? But I saw him 2 days before he came, which is very interesting. Soulmates 41. I've only ever had that once before, a long time ago. You are meant to evolve and transform with the companionship of others. Certain people enter into your life in order to take you to the next level of healing, consciousness and authenticity. It is always a reciprocal experience, although the results for each of you will vary. You know these people by the strong pull drawing you towards them, and sometimes by a strong aversion to them as well. So if you don't like someone intensely, it's because there is something there. No matter what, you will be changed in ways you can't possibly fathom now. Pay attention to these people today. They are your greatest gifts. Consider love as the deepest sense, love so powerful that you will never be the same, regardless of how long your relationship lasts. Consider friendship and romantic bonds so compelling that they overwhelm you with gratitude. or break you open so that you will finally claim who you were meant to be. Even a companion animal reminds you that it is you who's being rescued and healed. Pay attention, for you are in the presence of a soulmate, come to guide you home to the real you. Strategic alliances are now most important right now as you begin to attract the perfect people to support your dreams. This is a journey you will share with others, mentors, business partners, helpers, employees, creative partners, friends and strangers. Open doors for you and step through the portal to join you in a harmonic dance of collaboration, commitment and co-creation. This is what you've been waiting for. And then you've got the leg up, which is 34. So Mama Bear is carrying Baby Bear on her back, which I think is cute. 34. I call myself Mama Bear to my boys. Oh, where are we? Okay. Receiving help, delegating authority, interdependence. You've come to a point where going it alone is no longer optimal for you. Life has a way of presenting you with the perfect people to align with who can give you a leg up during this next phase of your journey. Help comes to you in all areas of your life where you need a boost. The trick is to accept the aid so freely given. When you embrace interdependence, allowing teamwork and interdependence to commingle, miracles happen. Now is such a time. Relationships that are healthy thrive on interdependence. It's important to recognize that you need others as much as they need you. You must allow people to support you just as you are there for them. This is a time to be vulnerable, to speak up about your needs, and to ask for them to be fulfilled. Trust, you will be met with kindness and love. Don't expect others to read your mind though. Ask and it is given. Now is the perfect time to seek advice from a mentor or business advisor who has been where you want to go, to help you get there too. If you do, you will receive very good counsel that will aid in your prosperity. It may also be the case that your endeavours have grown and you're in a position where you just can't do it all yourself anymore. Time to bring on those who can give you a leg up. Trust that help is available and it will indeed appear. Delegate authority to others so you can take steps forward to your big dream. The perfect people will arrive at the perfect time so long as you step forward with just a mustard seed of faith. Yeah. Being vulnerable is something I don't like to do. I find it really hard. I've been sick for the last 4 weeks and I found it really hard to reach out to people. I'm so used to being independent and doing everything on my own. I live on my own. I pay my own bills. I've always had to do things, I've raised my kids pretty much on my own. Yeah, for me, it's really hard to ask for help or to be sick. I hate to be sick because I hate to be needy. And saying here, are you always insisting on doing everything yourself? Do you have little faith that help will come? Convinced that the burden of the world is doomed to remain on your shoulders. Your beliefs about going it alone need to be discarded as they do not serve you at all. Let others help you. Yes, it will make you feel vulnerable to admit you need a helping hand. But to be vulnerable is good. For you to have a lesson to learn, you must let someone else assist you. You can't do life all by yourself. Once you shift your expectations, you'll be amazed by how quickly help arrives to give you a leg up. Yeah, it was very scary I had COVID symptoms and I had COVID symptoms and I had glandular fever on top of that, and it was a nightmare. And I was so sick I almost collapsed in the shower, and I refused to go to the hospital because, well, you go to the hospital and you get all those other bugs, because COVID's raging right now all over where I live, and I didn't want to go up to the hospital because you get at the mercy of someone else's virus, and I didn't want to catch something else, so I couldn't barely get out of bed, so I just went across the road to, luckily I got a pharmacy there, and the lovely pharmacist helped get me well, and was checking in on me, and I got all my meds there, and I got well. Hydrolite is my best friend. I have a Hydrolite ice block every day. I've had it for the last 3 weeks. That's the only thing that saved me was the Hydrolite, because I couldn't keep anything food down. I was living on soup, and just starting to go into solids, and I was praying. I thought, they're going to take me. I thought I was going to die. I really did. Because it wouldn't go away. It just took so long. I was talking to the pharmacist. He said it's the recovery is the longest thing. It's going to take a long time to you fully recover. He said it could take 4 to 8 weeks for recovery. So it's travelling around at the moment. So I'm keeping to myself. I haven't gone outside very often. I've been going different, like later in the day, to avoid running into people because I didn't want to pass it along to anyone else. They call it glandular fever. They call it the kissing disease. I haven't kissed anyone, not intimately that way. So it's not from that. I don't know how I caught it, but I think the only thing I can think of is I do volunteer at Lifeline. I haven't been back because I've been sick, and I was drinking out of a mug there, so I may have been passed on through saliva. But yeah, that's all I have for you today. It's a really good read. It's a nice positive message for any earth signs, Virgo, Capricorn and Taurus.